All right, and this is Dan Gilman,
And Zach Yazorowski of Mygamer.com.
the new and improved Mygamer.com.
Yeah, if you check out Mygamer, we just went through a radical new site design change. We're still working out some bugs, so maybe we need another day or two or more to figure everything out, but we're working on it. We're getting there. The new site is going to be awesome. I mean, you can already check it out, but once all the new features are totally up and running, I'm really excited about it. I got to go back and fix up some bugs, which is going to take some time, but it's looking pretty sweet. I'm really excited about it.
All right. Yeah, when they first put it live, I was like, Stan, the guy who owns the site, didn't really say anything to us, and I was.
That's just how he does. He's just like, well, we're just.
Yeah, he just kind of
it's good enough. I'm just going to go live now.
Well, and he does
it. Not ready.
Well, and he'll like throw stuff out for like the admins, which is us, to see first, and like he just kind of like put it out there, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And like I had to like log out to see everything.
Yeah.
Normally, and I'm like, I'm like really fucking confused on what's going on right now.
Yeah, because I know he was like working on everything, but I didn't know he was just going to flip the switch and kick off the new site. But it's up, it's running. Got a little bit of work to do, but it's going to be awesome when it's 100%.
Yeah.
So what the hell are we playing this week?
We are playing the newest Atelier game, Atelier, Shallie, the Alchemist of the Dusk Sea.
So, did we play an Atelier before?
We played the Atelier we've been doing this stream for 2 years now?
Yeah. Didn't we play one before?
We've played two before this one.
Oh, we played two before.
Yeah,
see?
So that's how much attention you've paid to this.
Yeah, well, I personally haven't played these games, so I'm rusty, ignorant, however you want to word it.
An asshole?
Sure, we can go with that too. That works for me. That's fine. So what makes what is it? Dusk of the Sea?
Okay, so
what makes this one different?
Well, the Atelier games for the most part are they're done in trilogies a lot of the time.
Okay.
So, like the last trilogy that came out was the Arlen trilogy. You had Rorona, Totori, and Meru that came out, and it was this giant, like kind of like arc of what's happening in this kingdom. And like how this kingdom is developing, and its rise to prominence, sort of thing. And in this one, it's about a world that's dying, kind of. It's about it. The dusk is like an encroaching desert, like death area, kind of.
Like a fog coming in, like a fog of war?
No, it's just like everything's dying, and no one really knows why.
Would you be really lost if you just jumped in now with this game?
No, you would have no fucking issue at all jumping in. You would be perfectly at home picking this up and skipping every other Atelier game. It's cool because characters from the last Atelier games are in it. So you'll like recognize, and you'll recognize a couple people and be like, oh, like I know this person. Okay, I know who this is. Oh, I can see this is happening and this is happening. That's cool. But if you just pick this one up, it wouldn't make a difference. You wouldn't even notice.
Because it's its own thing. It's its own story.
Yeah, it's 1,000% its own thing.
Yeah. So clearly we got a JRPG here, turn-based.
It's super a JRPG.
Very grindy?
Not really, actually.
You just kind of mosey along at the normal pace. I mean, are battles random?
They appear on screen like, the enemies that you encounter inside of them can be relatively random. If that, like, you don't always encounter the same enemies every time. This guy has, like, way too many hit points, so I'm just gonna see if I can run. Oh, cool, I can.
I was gonna say, like, what's this little sheep thing taking forever here?
Well, it was like a training dummy kind of thing. So you can just, like, beat the living shit out of it. I don't know why it's there. I think maybe it's, like, a boss character for, like, way later in the game.
Alright. Yeah, how much have you played so far?
I think I'm just about to move to chapter 6.
Oh.
And there's 8 chapters, so... Yeah. So that when you beat a chapter...
You're coming up on the end, yeah.
Yeah, when you beat a chapter, this is basically what happens. You get in... it, evaluates you. And, like, you have life goals, which is kind of weird and new this time. That...
Life goals?
Yeah! So this is, like, the first Atelier game that I've seen that doesn't really have a time limit on it. Most Atelier games, you're given it. They say, like, you have 5 years to accomplish this goal. And if it's not done in 5 years, it's game over. Like, that's it. And
so you gotta start a whole new save file?
Yeah, like, that's it. Like, you have 5 years. It's 5 years game time.
Right.
So, and normally it's way more than enough time. This one's the first one that it's just like a normal JRPG.
Got a trophy.
Yeah. Every time you beat a chapter, you get a trophy.
How would you rate this series against, like, Final Fantasy or Dragon
Quest? Well, Final Fantasy blows now.
Lately, yeah.
Oh, did you, there was a screenshot of the new Final Fantasy that came out.
And typo?
I don't know, but it was like they did the fucking bullshit gender-neutral fucking adjectives in there. Like Z and Zem.
Oh. In the game?
Yeah, for like one of the like it's like a Moogle class or something.
Oh.
And it's like I don't know if you've ever tried to read a paragraph with Z and Zem in it. I'm taking that as a no.
No, that's.
It makes your.
Are you sure it's type? Are you sure it's Type 0, not the demo of 15?
I have no idea what it is.
Oh.
It was just like a screenshot with it in it of like this weird Moogle class, and it was like, if you read it, it's at the end of it, you're just like, dude, my fucking head hurts. Like, it's worse than them doing their fake old Englishy stuff. Like, you know when they would get, like, really carried away, and you're like, I have no fucking idea what they just said.
Yeah, that was, they did that mostly in, like, Tactics, I think, or maybe, like, 12 was kind of the worst culprit of that.
Well, like, Tactics, they did that, and they mistranslated everything, so no one knew, and the plot was so complicated, so it's just like, it had 3 strikes against it that you're like, I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, it was a little rough.
Yeah.
The remake on PSP tightened things up quite a bit, though.
Yeah, people have said that. I never got really far enough for me to, like, become super deep into the plot in that one.
Good morning.
These Atelier games always been on consoles, or have they? Was there like a PSP?
So it's on the Vita. There are actually a bunch of them on the Vita right now.
In America?
Yeah, absolutely. All of the Arland ones are on the Vita right now, and the first one they run about 2 years behind on the Vita. And what happens is you'll get a bunch of DLC that'll come out eventually, and so with the DLC you'll get it'll be like, here it'll be like $5 for a character or something, and then 2 years later they'll release the Perfect Edition on the Vita, which just has everything.
Oh, all right, okay.
The chairman wants to speak with you directly. Not at all.
Is this like one of your favorite series, would you say?
Yeah, I have every
JRPG?
domestically released Atelier game that's ever come out. And actually, at one point, I was collecting even the ones by the same studio that were mild spin-offs. That like you could even kind of consider. I stopped doing that because fuck that.
That would qualify you as a pretty big fan, I think.
I'm a huge fucking fan of these games.
Which one is your best, or which one's the favorite?
Chairman, welcome. Shallie is here to see
Like, is the like here? So this is the latest one, right? So
Yeah.
is the latest like the latest and greatest, like in terms of gameplay, story? I mean, I like the visual style. It's
this is
not.
This is
I mean,
definitely the best.
It's anime. It's kind of cel shaded, but like a drawn on, almost comic booky.
Yeah. Well,
Do you know the continent to the
so
That's about
they've used the same engine since the first game.
Rising? It's been a few
All right.
decades since-
Well, they're small. It's Gust, and Gust is like a super small studio. They don't do a ton of things. And it's, if you look at the games, like the books all look the same. For instance, like in the background, you can see like there's a couple of books. All of them always look the same in all of the series, but they've improved it, and it just runs so much fucking better. In like this game as opposed to even like the last one or the first one of this series. It's ridiculous.
So if you had to pick like one or two Atelier games that like that if you can only like if people say like, okay, which Final Fantasy, if I can only play like one game, which one you should play. People say either 6, maybe people say 7, somebody might even say Tactics. What would you say? Which Atelier game do you think like is like the one that you like need to play?
I would say, for the most part right now, skip over the first in the series of any given trilogy.
Did this start on PlayStation 3, or wasn't there PS2?
There were Mana Khemia. Mana Khemia.
Because this goes back a while.
This was on PS1. They never came, like a bunch of them never came over on PS1. Mana Khemia is technically a core series. That's the Alchemy school ones. There was Alter Iris 1, 2, and 3 on PS2. And then there were like a couple of sort of they were done by the same studio. They're not in the series, but they're weird. They have some of the same mechanics as an Atelier game, but they're their own thing, if that makes any sense.
All right.
The documents are very old, so we can't be I'll do it.
I've let the union know as well.
Okay. Is it? Yes.
So, yeah.
Do a lot of the same like main characters carry over at all, or is it like Final Fantasy, where Final Fantasy VII has Cloud, and Final Fantasy VIII features Squall and his team?
Thank you.
Is there any like crossover, or is it always like its own kind of thing?
So you always have Pamela, for the most part. Pamela.
Is she the chick that you're playing as now?
No, Pamela is a ghost.
Oh, okay.
And she's pretty much in every single one of them. She is super dead, and she doesn't know where the fuck her body is. She's been dead for so long, she doesn't know what happened. And she just kind of wanders around and is really cool being a ghost.
Kind of like a Navi to Link.
Sort of, but
Is she like a playable character, or is she just kind of there to
depends,
kind of guide you?
depends on the game. Sometimes she's a playable character. Sometimes she runs a shop. It depends on the game.
I mean that. So I'm just watching you, walk around That was a pretty cool. Like the draw distance seems pretty cool. I like the art style. I don't know. It's not. It's like, I don't know, like high def cell shading. I don't know. I like it. It's like more detailed or something.
Yeah.
It's like Valkyria Chronicles.
Yeah, very
better.
much. Except, it's like a higher detail Valkyria Chronicles.
Right.
I definitely like this quite a bit. I can't say if this one's like my favorite one yet. I like it a lot. I like the last one a lot too. But for the most part, Totori I really liked, and Meru I really, really liked. The last two on the Arlen series. They came out a while ago. The one that came out last year. They're almost. It's kind of funny. A friend of mine actually called these the Madden of JRPGs because they come out pretty much every fucking year. But it's like, it's a new fucking story every year. Like, it's a new fucking game, and it's a direct sequel every year. And it's a lot of the time entirely new mechanics. So it'd be like a new Final Fantasy every year.
Right. Unlike Madden, which is just rehashing the same shit every year. Call of Duty.
What? You've got the same...
I don't really mind.
Okay, so, the chick who just walked in, Eska, is one of the main characters of the last game. But she's not really... She hasn't been playable or selectable character in this game as of right now. So, she, runs a shop or something.
I'm so tired.
So those two came along...
They didn't want to leave and said, we'll stay here.
Serious?
Oh, hey, Shallie's.
I don't know, it's weird because she seems the most disappointing of all of the, what happened after main characters. Because, for the most part, in the Arlen trilogy, you take this sort of, small town that's wrestling with becoming, industrialized and with its old traditions, and you basically make this town, larger town area, become a fucking nation because it's so prosperous because of your alchemy. And then with the second one, you, firmly establish it, by, how through your adventures and, just getting a firm foothold on everything. And then in the last one, it's you're a princess in this trilogy, and it's you make your kingdom, the crowning jewel of this nation when it merges with it. And it's in this one, it just kind of seems after you're done being a main character, you're promptly forgotten and become either a footnote in history that everyone wants to forget, or a cog in the government wheel.
Is the alchemy mechanic, so there's an alchemy mechanic, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So that's the main.
It's part of it. It's
gimmick
not
between all of them.
It's part of it. It's not the main, but yeah.
Yeah. But it's if you don't mix and match items using the alchemy system, you're not gonna beat the game, or is it just you're not getting the most out of it? Is it optional? Do you have to do it?
I would say that you pretty much have to do it. It's
how does it work? Is it tedious? Is it fun? Does it make the game so every battle you get random things and you just got to put them together later or something?
Yeah. So you have a limited basket, inventory that you can carry with you. But you can dump them. But you have a container at your base that you can dump a ton of shit into. So, you have to like come back from the field every so often. So that's. But like enemies drop shit, you can find stuff in the field to bring back, and then everything has its own properties that you can mix in together. But everything has like a formula to make it.
And do you have to find the formula first, or do you just have to
you can't really experiment.
Please, me too.
Calm down, you two. I don't plan.
No.
The route is pretty long, and the entire thing is yet. We can't start the investigation.
You know, like just watching this
No.
kind of makes me want to play like a new Wild Arms.
Don't overestimate.
Yeah, right?
Like just like the arts, like because they started like with Wild Arms like 3 on PlayStation 2. They kind of were going for like this anime look. That's kind, you know, obviously not nowhere near as detailed than this, but that just, you know, really what it like reminds me of. So it's like if you had to play maybe like a new Wild Arms, or if you wanted to play a new Wild Arms, like this might be like kind of the go-to, even though it's, you know, because Wild Arms had like a cooking mechanic or something in the later games, I think. It's the similar art style. I don't know how it like Wild Arms was always, you know, grindy. You know, you got to get levels up, JRPG. But then they had dungeon puzzles, kind of like Zelda. You know, you got to activate this switch and light this torch and do this kind of stuff. Is there any kind of like puzzle solving in this, or is it just straight fighting?
There's always puzzle solving in these games. It's normally like you'll just hear something. In the previous one, there's normally a ton of time management aspects to it. That it's like it'll be some. It won't be super hard puzzle solving, but it'll be something that you'll just sort of know. You know, all right, I kind of need to. You know, like, I can kind of guess at what this is, or that I need something else to figure this out. But, you know, like, there is some aspects of puzzle solving. Mainly it's around the alchemy for a solution.
Oh, alright. Okay.
And in the other ones, it would, like, the problem would be finding the items, and then creating the item, and then getting back to that place to solve it.
Well then, here is your official mission. Crossing beyond the eastern sea of smoke.
So when they announce a new Atelier game, like you get super excited about it, you're like, oh hell yeah, I gotta go pre-order that?
No.
Or do you wait until after it comes out?
No, I'm gonna buy it. I mean, like, I'll order it ahead of time on Amazon and get release date shipping, but...
So you always buy it day one, kind of regardless?
Yeah.
Or do you wait for, like, reviews, because, you know...
No, I know. Because they're all gonna get the same fucking review.
It's a JRPG, after all.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing, though, is it's like...
I heard about the survey team.
I mean, it's a JRPG. JRPGs, I mean, for the most part, they're gonna get one of 2 reviews. And it's going to be like, oh, I don't know why they put me on this. I fucking hate these. Or it's going to be like, oh man, JRPGs, they're back, man. Yeah, life's good again. And, like, that's the one of 2 reviews it's going to get. And it's like, it's just not worth your time.
After crossing the eastern sea of smoke, you... Oh. Are you looking for something? Jeez, what's with you? What's with that? Seriously? Sorry I didn't tell you sooner. Though I have spent a... That's why I can still teach you alchemy.
Like any good JRPG, you got your wordy dialogue segments.
Yeah.
You're still my master. That won't... Thanks. So, part of my... Oh.
How long does it take to beat these games? Are these like 30-hour RPGs? These like 100-hour RPGs?
20 and 30 the first time through. They're not super long.
It's actually kind of short for a JRPG if it's only 20, 30.
Well,
Usually it's like 40 to 60.
You were the survey team?
Yeah, they have like 1,000 endings though.
Oh, so you get like New Game Plus stuff?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
And damn near everything carries over.
Hey, Shallie.
Like, a ton. Like,
Out?
everything except your inventory carries over for the most
I
part.
heard you're going to the East.
Well, that was...
Well, you know, my father is pretty enthusiastic.
Being rich must...
Don't say it like that, Wilbel.
Wait, you two are... Not like I can help running into him at the corporation.
I always wondered what you felt.
Anyway, did you need something? We're getting ready to leave.
Oh my god.
So if you find any information about the automaton,
Automaton? Are you wasting more money?
I'm not wasting it. Automaton.
Is he always like... Yeah.
So if you actually find one... Oh, Delia. May I wonder...
Let's go. Yeah.
So I have to go back and edit a bunch of reviews because our review scores.
Yeah,
didn't
you were
transfer
bitching about
over
this earlier.
to the new site. So if the Mygamer fans are looking at our site, watching our stream, that's what I got to go do. I got to go back and edit. Like the last time I looked, we had almost like 2,000 reviews.
Are you actually gonna do that?
I mean, I'm not. I'm gonna. No, there's no way that. I mean, that'll take for literally forever. But I'm just gonna go back and do like the newest ones first, and just work my way down to the oldest ones. I'm never gonna get through them all, but
Yeah, I mean, like, if you hit 100, I would be proud.
yeah. The reviews are there. The article is there. Just no score, or no star rating or whatever at the top of the page. But I'm gonna try to get through as many as I can. Go back. I don't know. Yeah, if I can get through 100. It's going to take a while, but...
I can't believe that he just kind of...
I mean, it's not his fault. There's nothing...
We're going to blame him.
Yeah, well, it's... the new... for me, it's like, I don't really care. To be honest with you, I don't really mind doing it, because we got a new kick-ass site, so it completely outweighs the
Any
tedious work I
negatives.
gotta go through here, but we'll get through it.
Oh. Sorry. What? You mean... Oh, what's more important is that we're heading east. Yes, Cortez and Tay are... Alrighty. Yeah.
Oh my god. That entire dialogue was, are you super pumped to go? Yeah, are you? Yeah!
Are you going to get yourself your Mario Party 10 and Gold Mario Amiibo?
No.
Yeah, no.
Reddit.
Only like 4 people are going to get the Gold Mario, because I think like there was a thing posted online like Walmart's only going to get like 4 like gold Amiibos for like each store,
Well, like,
and assholes are going to be camping out like the day before.
well, Reddit is saying like 2 hours beforehand, depending on the city, should be fine.
Depends on how crazy the other crazies you have to fight.
Yeah. Well, like I said, depends on the city. And not only that, it's like, if it's 24-hour Walmart...
Right, yeah, because if it's 24, they can sell it at like 12:01.
Yeah.
But if it's obviously not, then you got to just wait till they open, which is like, what, 8 o'clock or 8:01 or whatever? 9 o'clock?
Yeah. Well, and it depends on, like, what, like, the staff that's there, because I get, like, so one of the guys
they
I
might not know
work...
what the hell's going on.
One of the guys I work with, I guess there was a... I'm glad that there's, like, a musical interlude we can completely talk over here.
I like how they all like turn around at the same time, like robots with the same turning around animation.
You mean pivot exactly 180 degrees? Like there's a pole through their head?
Exactly.
So
they all do it at the same time. It's like Children of the Corn or something like
yeah.
that.
So one of the guys, like, the new hire that we had, he works at Target, and he was telling me that, like, a new... I think it was, like, Skylanders was coming in, and it was, like, there was a limited edition one, and word got out that it was going to be super rare and super collectible, like, immediately. And so he just, like, the moment they opened was just like, yeah, so
Where to go?
I'm punching out for 5 seconds, and I'm literally buying every single one of these. And they were like $100 a pop, and he's like, yeah, I went on eBay, listed them, and like put a buy it now price of like $350, and they sold within 10 minutes.
No way.
Yeah, and
You
like,
know that's exactly what the hell. You know that's what's gonna happen with the gold Marios.
yeah,
No, nobody's gonna open them. Nobody's gonna play with them. Nobody's gonna use them. They're gonna go immediately on eBay. So Friday, you know what? Friday at 10 a.m. If you type in gold amiibo, you're gonna see
Tell me where to go.
hundreds of them.
well, not only that, but it's like, what one of my favorite things was just listening to, like, looking at people on Reddit that were like, so is my gold Mario gonna be gold in the game? And it's like Nintendo said repeatedly that he's not.
What should I envision?
Yeah, who the hell cares? Like that's dumb. You're just gonna get these things to eBay it. That's why they exist.
Yeah, like, so I will show you alchemy in a minute.
Yeah, I want to see this. Is it just all menu based?
Kind of.
Or now, can you do it at any time, or do you got to go like to a fire pit and craft this stuff, or like at the inn or something?
You have to go to a pot and do it. An alchemy pot.
Okay.
All right then. All right.
So, alright. So kawaii. Yeah, she is pretty adorable.
Oh, okay.
What should I synthesize?
So you click on you want to make like boots or something, and it just tells you the 3 or 4 things or whatever that you need to.
Well,
But you
it's a little more in depth than that, and let me see if I can actually find something I want to make that I can make.
What materials should I choose? Is this really okay? Alright, time to start. I wonder what'll happen. Using a useful skill. Is this alright? Time to finish. Oh, what properties should I keep? Is this alright? That about does it.
Yeah, so that's alchemy for the most part. I know it's not super exciting.
Yeah. So you mostly get like accessories. You get like I saw like armor. I saw like shoes.
Weapons, pretty much everything in the game you can make through it.
So yeah, so it's not just I'm just gonna make put 2 potions together and make a super potion.
No, you do like all of your items in the game. Pretty much in like the earlier games, a lot of it you had to like you could buy items at stores, but if you wanted them to be effective,
Here?
almost at all, you had to kind of tamper with them and improve them.
No. But you've been east before? No? Then
Okay.
just on map. Oh.
Hello.
Huh?
I didn't think we'd have visitors again.
Again?
This used to be a recently. We have a lot more people.
We only... But if everything works...
That's good.
We're looking for a place...
Yes. Just beyond the Crystal Valley, in fact. But you should know.
Shallie? Okay. Leave it...
Oh, also,
I don't know. I'm kind of interested about Type O.
took off for the Crystal
Really?
Two?
Yeah. It's like I don't know if I should just pick it up now.
I
Because
would
think
wait.
it's I don't know if because it's like I can get it now and play the Final Fantasy 15 demo, which is that really going to make a difference? I mean, sure, it'd be cool to get access to that, but I don't know if I could buy it now or like how Final Fantasy 13 was. You wait 2-3 months, that thing is going to drop.
It's $3.
I think it might drop pretty quick. You never know.
Yeah.
13 dropped kind of quick, but
I mean, or look at like Final Fantasy X too right now.
Oh, well, the thing is they're remaking that now again, HD again version on PlayStation 4.
Which
So
I
they
think
put
it's
on
actually
HD.
called HD again.
Right. They're just milking it for all they can.
God, I wish it actually was called HD again.
That would make sense. The HD
Re-HD.
release. There's like 3 re's in there. Release.
What? Okay, weird. Catch the biggest fish. You hear that, sir?
That's what she said.
Oh, God, I just want to punch you in the fucking face right now. Probably get that a lot, though.
Well, that's...
Mainly when you talk to women, though.
And dudes.
Yeah. Anyone, really.
Absolutely essential to imbuing.
So everything that just randomly glows like that is...
Something you
an
can
item
kind of pick
just
up, yeah.
Now, do you need like a special item to see the glowy things, or do they just always glow?
They always glow. And the more you pick up, the more the gauge at the top fills up. And
Okay.
when the gauge at the top fills up, you have an option to sort of like use a skill in the area. And when you use a skill in the area, it's like you can get like a weird rare relic.
Oh, so there's an extra payoff to collecting all the glowy
Yeah.
things, not
Well,
just getting it.
That and like fighting, it pays off too.
So explain this combat system here. I mean, you just like hit a bomb into like, so it is like positioning.
No. So in some of them, because I mean we've been talking about so fucking many of them at this point. In some of the Atelier games, positioning was important. This is not one of them.
This is this particular attack, this bomb attack that you're using.
Like, so the enemies line up, it will line up in a formation, and it's depending on their formation, like certain attacks will hit more characters. But your characters pretty much always line up the same exact way. And enemies will either hit one of your characters or they will hit all of your characters.
And it's always a 3-man team, not a 4-man party.
Well, you have 6 characters, and you can call them in for an assist after you attack. And basically what an assist is it swaps them to the back row.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're in the back row, they slowly heal.
Oh.
Yeah, and they'll like regain hit points and magic points.
Are there limit breaker type super attacks? You got to build up a meter.
Yes, they're ultimates.
Ultimates, sure.
It's pretty rare to find
Wouldn't really be a JRPG without some kind of a limit break.
Yeah, right?
The invisible walls seem kind of annoying.
They're not actually that bad. There's like a huge pit there, so that one sort of made more sense.
That one was okay, right. Because like the screen that you were just at before, you just kind of like walked and then loading screen, even though that there was no indication that you got to like walk into another zone.
Oh, well, it says like hit X to continue.
Yeah, right.
So like that's like a staple of the series. That's like one of those things that it's like you sort of just get used to with the Atelier games.
Yeah.
Like they haven't figured out an elegant way of like telling you like, hey, so this is a load zone, and we're just gonna load
or
it.
just making bigger environments.
Or no, because the thing is, like, their engine chugs as it fucking is.
Right.
So they're just like, all right, so we can either make bigger zones and make everything less detailed, or smaller zones and make the game entirely more detailed. It's like, let's just make the game more detailed and fucking make people hit the X button so they don't fucking wander off like idiots.
Let's finish them all at once. Too slow.
They did announce a PS4. They haven't like made the jump to new gen, have they? This year, like, or did they say like, okay, next year we're gonna have one PS4 new engine?
I have no fucking idea. I try not to look at what's coming out in Japan, like, because if you wanted to, you can spoil a huge amount of this fucking game. So this is his ultimate move right now.
Yeah.
So
the ultimate moves are they dependent on how much damage you take or how much damage you give?
it's the ultimate is it's based on your assists that you have saved up. It's weird the way that ultimates are calculated. That's weird. Like the way that ultimates are calculated, like that one is kind of hard to explain. And it's kind of different in every game too.
This is new. Found something useful?
This thing looks pretty old.
You have to go into that sort of glowy mode that you see. It's called burst mode. And then you have to start doing more assists in burst mode and fill your ultimate gauge up in burst mode. And then when your ultimate gauge is full in burst mode, well, when your ultimate gauge is full, you can burst. Or, no, when your ultimate gauge is full, you can use your ultimate. But when you're in burst mode, you do more damage. So it behooves you to use your ultimate in burst mode. And
So
when
they got their own system, yeah.
yeah, and it's like it's one of those things that it's like if I try to explain it with words to you that you're not actually like actively using the system, I literally just said gibberish to you. And it's like I understand that you were probably trying to understand that, and it just came out with me just like sounding like I had a fucking stroke or something.
If you play it, you'll understand it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, well, and the thing is, I honestly think that, I mean, I love these games, but I'll be the first to admit that there are times that it's not really that complicated, but they really have to work on naming conventions and explaining how shit is fucking done.
And that could be getting just lost in translation, too.
Oh, no. I like, part of the charm sometimes is just, like, the English that is left over.
Sure. That's what makes some games memorable, is their bad translation, or just completely lack thereof.
Oh, man. Today, I laughed so hard. I was reading a manga, and, they were, like, someone tried to get someone else to smoke weed, except it was in a cigarette pack. And the pack, it was a name brand, so it had like a name brand on the cigarette pack, and it was slave marijuana. And then it says it's been legally banned, and it's like, well, I don't know many places that illegally ban stuff.
Right.
And it was just this entire like moment of like, wow, this is like the most English anything has ever been.
What manga were you reading?
It is called Assassination Classroom.
I have no idea what the hell that is.
So, this guy shows up and he blows up the moon. And he looks like a giant octopus. And he goes to, like, the world leaders and basically says, yeah, so I did that, and if you don't want me to blow up the Earth in 1 year's time, I want to teach a class of, like, this very specific class of these very specific students for 1 year, and I'll tell you how they can kill me. And it's like, it's just this really fucking weird, but, like, funny and, like, odd, like...
Yeah, that's a little strange.
Alright.
Yeah.
Is this really okay? Alright, time to pick what properties should I keep?
Yeah, no, and it's like, it's actually really, really good. But like I said, there are just moments in it that it's just like, this is the best moment of English ever coming together that I've ever witnessed in my life.
Should make a game out of that.
I think they already are. It's insanely popular in Japan. It's just like Cross Ange, which is the best worst anime of the season. It's one of those ones that you're like, this is so bad, but I can't stop watching it.
Do you watch stuff on, like, what is it, Crunchyroll?
No.
Or what's the other one that's free?
It's really dangerous here. There's a lot of blind corners and bad footage.
There's like, it's like Just Anime or something. There's an app
Well,
for
like,
Just Anime.
yeah, Crunchyroll is probably the best way to do it.
But that's just anime, right?
It's
Crunchyroll
just
mostly
anime.
anime?
Yeah.
We'll be
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Everyone from Stellard is pretty tough.
The thing with the anime is like anime. Now I'll figure it out.
Take care of this as efficiently as possible.
Like with anime, it's more likely that like obscure things will like see a release through like Crunchyroll, or you know, like they'll get subbed semi legally, if that makes sense. Whereas like manga, a lot of manga never sees the light of day outside of kind of like fans doing it. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like, there are games that the only reason they ever saw the light of day in America was because fans translated them. What the hell was it?
Games are the same way.
Yeah, the third Mother game.
Right.
Earthbound.
Other game. Yeah, Earthbound. You get Secret of Mana 3.
Yep.
Radical Dreamers. The list goes on and on.
Well, I fucking understand why Radical Dreamers didn't come over. Have you played Radical Dreamers?
Well, you don't really play anything.
And not only that, it was for Nintendo's failed satellite download.
Right.
Like
Exactly. Right.
That didn't come over,
No.
and
Let's attack first.
it was like the system that it was on didn't come over. And the reason the system that it was on didn't come over was because, like, it pretty much failed, like, the day it was released in Japan. So, bringing it over to America, like, it was just cost prohibitive to exist in the first place. And then it was just pure text. Like, there was no...
There's no gameplay. It's just a digital book.
Basically, yeah. And then it's like, and if you look at it, it's just like, there is just absolutely no way at all that any of that was going to make Square profit ever if they released it in America.
No.
Like, no. And it's
it would have cost them, so much time and effort just to translate the damn thing. But people are hardcore Chrono Trigger fans, so they want to get every tidbit of information that they can, so they just, well, fuck it, we'll just translate it ourselves then.
Yeah. Actually, the guy who did that ended up getting hired by Natsumi? I think he does, like, the Harvest Moon games now.
Found something useful?
So there's more positives and, more benefits to translating. They might be watching, keeping an eye on you.
Yeah, well, no, that's the thing, is, like, a lot of game studios, if you do stuff like that, and you do a good job, like, do you remember a while ago, there was that Sonic fan-made game in Unity?
No. Wait, what? Sonic fan-made game in Unity?
Yeah, like,
you mean the
there was a
Unity.
Yeah, there was a 2D Sonic game that fans made in Unity, and it looked fantastic, and it played amazingly, and it was like, you would just sit there and be like, this is everything I want from a Sonic game, and, it was just like,
made by a couple of dudes in their basement.
well, yeah, and it was one level. It was just sort of like a tech demo. But the thing is, like, they were like, yeah, we're gonna, release more, and it came out really quickly. Like, oh, Sega's put a stop to it, and Sega basically released this thing that's like, we put a stop to it because we hired these guys. We're not being assholes. We gave them jobs.
They left out that detail.
Like, it was like, yeah, I understand that everyone's annoyed because, like, there's not more of this game, and that's a bummer, but, like, we saw this and went up to them and went, yeah, you're really good, you have a job now. And it's, yeah, like, developers will go into their communities and be like, holy shit, you're really good at this. Would you like to work for us now?
So there's some benefits to that.
Yeah. Alright, so we've been going for about 50 minutes.
So any closing thoughts about your favorite series here?
Bring more over. Please release some of the handhelds that have never been, or the handheld games that have never been released in America.
Yeah. Would you rather see a new game on PlayStation 4, or would you rather see ports of games that haven't been like
the new console games are coming over. That's a given at this point.
Yeah.
Like, they're just going to come over. They sell well enough that they're going to come over. What I'd really like to see is them to go through and do virtual console releases of old ones.
Yeah.
I would love that. That would make me probably happier than anything.
You mean like on PSN, like the
PS1 like
PSN
game? And be able to play them on like my Vita and my PS3. Right. I would lose my fucking mind. I would call in sick to work. I would take vacation time to play. Like, if they released, because supposedly there's one of them that's on PlayStation 1 that's the best one, and I've never played it because
never been translated though, right?
I don't even think there's a fan translation out there for it.
Yeah, see that? Yeah, that's the problem.
Because like everyone who's super serious about it is just like straight up says like, oh yeah, I know enough Japanese to muster through it, or like you can find like a translation guide to kind of get through it, and it's like, I don't like playing games like that.
No.
You have to have a manual in front of you at all times. So my chinchilla says hello. I would love for them to translate that stuff and bring it over. Even if it's like a quick and dirty translation, I would love that. I would like all of them to come over, take my money.
They can just, with the old games, release it in a bundle pack.
Yeah, no, not even that. I will pay $10 to $15 for them. I would pay $10 a piece for an old PlayStation 1 game.
Could be a good opportunity for just a compilation disc.
Yeah, fuck, if they released all of them,
Right.
all of the, even if it was like 3 of them, and it was like now available on the PS3 for $50, I'd be like, fuck, yes, okay.
Right.
So yeah, for this week, I've been Dan Gilman. You can find me on mygamer.com. I'm sort of the media guru there, also the PC editor. I host the stream, the podcast when Zach's not
Busy.
on fire 24/7. You can also find me on varms.net. That's been slow recently, but I'm going to be there more and more. That's my personal website. You can also follow me on Twitter @Gilman.
And I'm Zach Yazrowski. Check out mygamer.com, of course. Like we just said at the beginning of the stream, we just completely revamped the website, from the ground up, totally new. We're still working out some bugs. I got a lot of work ahead of me fixing some old articles and things like that. But we're going to get there sooner than later. So stay with us. We still got the stream going up. We'll post the stream. We've got a couple of new reviews on the way as well. You can follow me on Twitter @ZachGaz, ZACKGAZ, and my personal website, which is squallsnake.com.
All right. That's us for this week.
Game on.